god, like what are we doing?
Welcome back to This is a Takeover. My name is David Hensley. I'm the owner and creative director of Long Walk Productions, and I am here to introduce your host, Shelby Ray Patterson.
Thank you, David, and welcome to This is a Takeover. I'm Shelby Ray Patterson.
And I'm Gina Belmont.
And Gina.
Yeah.
We're back.
We're back. What's up, y'all?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, don't adjust your headphones. It's not Dogs and Chris who have suddenly gotten high voices.
Nope.
Like,
hey,
it's us. We're back.
Us. We've missed you.
We really have.
We have.
So, obviously, we're your NXT babes.
Sup?
And we're here to review NXT War Games. But
War Games!
First, how are you doing, Gina?
Man, it feels so good to be back.
I know.
In front of these microphones.
I just got really giddy as I was doing the intro.
No,
I totally went off track.
No,
but it's fine.
It's fine, because this is how it works.
And we are coming. This is the first time for us.
Yes.
Now, this is not the first podcast that they have done.
No.
But we are coming. What is it called again?
Long Walk Studios / Kayfabe Outpost 1.
Okay, I knew
depending on which side of the building you're on.
I knew it had a really long, complicated name, so that's why I looked to you.
So I don't think I ever explained on either of the other podcasts what happened. David Two Dogs Hayes, host of This Is a Work, had a building built on his property, a very large building, and when he first started talking about the idea, we agreed to split it. So he has one half of it, which is his home gym / Kayfabe Outpost 1, and then I have half of it with all of my stuff in Long Walk Studios. So for the listeners out there, just imagine a big metal building. One half is a fucking gym. The other half is a production studio.
I love it.
Yes.
This is so much more space than your previous office.
Yes.
If I had to stare at the level of chaos that other person in your office had of just mess.
Well, when I moved everything out of that office and into here, and once when I moved all my shit in here, the first day was just chaos because I had stuff everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And even with stuff spread all over this side of the building, I still had so much more room than I did in that office.
Yeah, of course.
Like it was cozy,
Yep.
right?
It
like
was intimate.
yes, it was an intimate space. But I definitely prefer we got some elbow room.
We do.
Well, see, when I moved in that office, it was great because I literally had a camera and a laptop. And that was it. And then over the 7 years that I was in there, I accumulated so much shit that you couldn't move around in there.
Oh, yeah. Well, you totally outgrew it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
It
this
was
is
time
great.
to
And
expand.
we are so excited for you and very proud that you have your own space.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's going to be great.
Yeah.
And so
We're here to celebrate.
I brought something special.
Yeah, you did.
I brought Prosecco, y'all. And
It's going to be great.
I wanted to bring Prosecco because obviously we drink on this show. That's not a secret.
What?
I know.
No.
It's a shocker. I know. New listeners, we drink. It's fine. So we usually have something that we drink and that we bring to the table. But
Literally.
yes, exactly. But since we don't have our Main Street bottle shop to get from anymore, we can bring our own stuff.
Yes.
Which means, and this is our own space.
And we can
right?
still give them shout outs, though.
Oh,
because they are a
absolutely.
lovely place to go and visit.
Yes, if you are local to the Rock Hill, York, Greater Charlotte area, please go to Main Street Bottle Shop. They still are really great.
They're fabulous.
But I wanted to bring Prosecco because we have not recorded in God knows how long.
It's a very long
And
time.
I just wanted to celebrate us being back.
Yay!
Even though the landscape has changed dramatically, and we will get into that.
Yes.
Yeah, and the last time we recorded, there was very much an atmosphere of, is this going to be the last episode?
Like, is this it?
I went home and I was so sad, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, Gina and I talked about it, and
In the
David
car
too.
ride,
Like, we were
too.
just like, what do we do? Like, if we don't have these takeovers anymore.
Yeah.
And when they announced War Games, I thought I was going to go through the roof of my office when I saw it was announced, because I was like, holy shit, we're actually going to be doing this again.
It's like, thank God.
It's not called a takeover anymore. but, we'll take it if it can,
We'll take
as we get it. But, yes, so I'm letting Gina do a rare thing.
Hang on, I gotta scoot
Y'all.
back here.
Yes, and if you can hear our windbreaker jackets,
There's no heat yet in,
Not yet.
in Kayfabe Outpost 1.
it's a work in progress, right? So we have our blankets and our space heaters and our jackets, and it'll be
yes.
fine. But I'm letting Gina open. Okay, you're really pushing your luck. I am letting you open this when we're recording.
You know I had to push buttons. This is how this works.
I don't like it. Open the damn thing. Just open it. She's opening. Yes.
Oh, that was awesome. See, oh man.
We're gonna have to really be careful with the echo in here though, because we just got so loud.
Worth it.
It is. So
I'll fix it in post.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say your job's gonna get a little.
bit harder with us. But so friends, we are pouring our Prosecco into classy red Solo cups
Red Solo.
because that is how we are. And
Also, Gina, don't get me sued.
Nope. You're right.
she
As soon as
stopped.
I started singing,
she-
I was like, nope.
She
wait a
stopped it in the appropriate amount of time. So David, you would like one?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'm fine with that. That's a fine
It's
sound.
soothing.
It's okay.
It's soothing.
That's fine. I'm trying to reach it over to you. This is great audio content. I love it so much.
Didn't you miss us, guys? We've sure missed you.
I love it.
All right.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Love you guys.
Cheers.
Love
Welcome back,
Welcome back.
bitches.
God, I love Prosecco.
And not only that, but this brand specifically is so good.
The perks of working for a wine company.
Ah.
It's great. So, now that we have our drinks ready,
Yes.
are you ready to dive into this?
I'm so ready.
Oh God, I have so many mixed
Here, let me-
feelings, but it's fine.
I'll scoot back in.
So, war games, for our listeners who are not familiar with the format. First off, war games is my absolute favorite of all the takeovers. Just because if you listen to this podcast, you know how much I love just crazy violence
Chaos.
and chaos.
Extreme chaos.
War games checks all those boxes for me and makes me super happy.
It does.
So-
you should see the look in her eyes. You really should.
Just so everyone knows, I rearranged shit on my honeymoon last year, so I could watch
I'm
this.
so glad you brought this back up again because we
Yes.
talked about it on Sunday and I was like, no, this needs to be on the podcast.
No, so, we went to New Orleans the week after Thanksgiving, which was great, and
Yep.
then I saw the itinerary and I was like, wow, I need to figure out when we're going to watch war games. And we figured it out.
You did.
And it was great. And
Yes.
I had a freak out moment because I didn't realize we were in a different time zone, but it's fine.
It's fine. And it just worked,
worked
out,
out great.
perfectly.
But I say all that to explain to you listeners that war games is my absolute favorite time of the year.
Yes.
And so the
It's
way
the
that the
most.
match works is you have 2 steel cages with 2 rings inside of
yes.
them, and they're conjoined together. And you have 2 shark cages on the outside. And you have both teams inside the shark cages. And you have 2 people in the big double ring start out. And they
Yes.
go for 5 minutes. And then
Another person comes in.
another person comes in every 3 minutes. And then once everybody is inside for both teams, then the match actually starts.
Yes.
And you can only win by pinfall or submission.
But everyone has to be inside.
Yes.
In order to start
Nobody
that.
can leave.
Nobody can leave.
So if you try to escape
Or
then you're
block other people out.
Yes. And
Which,
we'll get to that part later. That part I had an issue with. But so we start out the this is going to be really hard for me not to call it takeovers. So
I know.
I'm just going to try to say war games, and if I say takeovers, they'll forgive me. But
Really quickly,
yes.
did you want to address, because I sure do, about how there is a tradition for war games that a certain somebody
Yes.
always says, war games!
Yes. So that is our loved patron saint, William
Blessed be
Regal.
him. Yes.
He usually rings in the war game season
Yes.
by coming out and saying that phrase. And
sprouting it.
reason why he says it is because there's a brawl that happens and it's a massive one.
Yes.
And, you know, that's what leads to
Yes.
being like, well, we can't, you know.
There's no other way to fix this. There's no other way to have it out except for War Games.
Yes.
And he screams it.
He says it in this like awesome
Beautiful
British timbre voice, and you're just like, yes, I am here.
Yes.
We can start War Game season now.
Yes.
Because he has said it. And this year, he has not said it. And did not appear
No.
at this takeover.
Since everything, and viewers or listeners, you know everything, when we refer to everything, that means just the everything that encompasses all of the changes that have happened. The rebranding.
Yes.
He has not been out, or I have not even seen anything about him, his status within the company.
He has been in a few backstage. I'm not even going to call them segments.
No. Because the segments that we know actually had some form of story.
Right. And so he has not been around at all during this whole season.
Yeah.
When they first rebranded, he has been kind of here and there in the beginning. Just like you see him backstage in the hallway and you're like, oh, thank God he's alive.
It's like trickle down economics. Like it's supposed to be more presence and then it's just not there.
Yeah, at all. And so they tried throughout this entire build up to War Games having other people say it.
It just doesn't
They had
work.
EO say it.
No.
They had like some other people say it. I only remember EO's. But
They had not Dakota.
No, she's
No,
not.
no, no,
she
no,
doesn't
no.
speak anymore, really.
That's fair. Unless she decides to be crazy.
Right.
There was somebody else.
It's fine. It doesn't matter because they're not Regal.
Obviously, that's the feeling we're left with.
Well, and it's just it was weird.
Yeah.
It's been weird, and I think throughout this entire show, it just had an overwhelming sense of like the black and gold brand that you know and love is dead.
That he fought for, that he
Yes.
literally created.
And that's dead now. So
Why would I put forth effort?
right. And here's the new paint splattered shit that
Paintball.
we want you to love now.
Whatever shit.
And all that other stuff is gone.
Yeah.
So
Which will come back.
well, that is basically the whole tone of this entire
Yes.
takeover was.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to later down the
But
road.
yeah, no, I'm glad that you brought that up because
Yeah.
that was like an overwhelming type of presence.
That's that enough for anyone who's watched. I mean, even a modicum of just like the little black and gold, like before the changeover, that was be present enough to just be like, wait, like this is setting a tone.
Yeah.
If he's not even here, that makes me worried.
Yeah, because he's the representative of that.
Yeah.
So you take that away and then.
Then what do you have?
Exactly.
It's like the awkward feeling whenever you watch the WWE intro now, and then there's supposed to be that woo, and then that woo's not there, and then you have that weird feeling, awkward likeness.
Yeah, because they didn't even put anything in
No,
place
it's
of it.
just
silence.
absence. But that's
Yeah.
the thing. It's like, you know it's supposed to be there, and it's not.
Yeah.
So
So that was like the whole like feel that we had
Yeah.
going into this.
just prior to sitting down and reading anything, watching anything, just it's that looming presence.
well, you have the absence of Regal and the absence of the name Takeover. Mm-hmm. Right. So
That's two strikes.
It is because Takeover, like the name itself, is iconic.
Yeah.
Right. So when I don't know, I feel like it's too much change.
Yeah.
All at one time.
Yeah.
And I think overall, and we can talk about it. Like I think overall it was fine, but you had so many of those things that were
Yeah.
leaning over your head before you even started watching the show. That
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I'm gonna try to like this, and be positive about this. And I wrote down a lot of positive shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up because
Yes.
that was definitely an over.
Yeah, to me that was really important
Yeah.
to be brought up.
So we start with the women's War Games match,
Yes.
which has been how they've done it since the women's War Games match became a thing.
Yeah. And I'm not mad at that.
No, I'm not either because I am all for having women main event, but I don't think that match is ready to be the main event yet.
And not only that, not even the match itself, but the people in the match are not ready for that yet.
Right.
I mean, this one alone.
Well, so we had the team of Io Shirai, Cora Jade, Raquel Gonzalez, and Kaylee Ray
Oh, now
versus Toxic Attraction,
Yep.
which is JC Jane, Gigi Dolan, and Mandy Rose, and Dakota Kai.
Can we talk about how much, including us, love Gigi Dolan?
Oh my God.
The people flipping lost their mind.
They've
which
spoken.
they should, by the way.
They've spoken. Like she's
She's
by
in.
far the best in-ring worker in that trio.
Yeah.
And has the best aesthetic.
Yes.
Like by far.
But uses character the correct way and not in just the, oh, look at my body and you think I'm sexy kind of feel. Like, see, I said it, I didn't sing it. So therefore, you can't copyright me. Ha ha. Take that,
Looked
loopholes.
immediately at David and was like, I didn't do it this time.
All right, but you're on thin ice.
I can do that. I can skate on that.
But I mean, I feel like this was a thing that happened in all of the entrances. They're gonna have to put a seizure warning at the beginning of these shows.
I truly don't know how they're
Because-
not getting away with that because, I mean, genuinely, there's been seizure warnings for just normal movies and stuff. Like, how in the world can you not, like, make a warning of that? Like, the lights, anytime someone came out of the shark tank or shark cage, whichever it,
Yeah.
like, the lights that went flashing, like, ow.
Well, and just during the entrances alone.
Yes.
Like there was a point, especially like say Toxic Attractions entrance, they have all of the smoke, right? That comes out. When you have the blinding like not pyro, but the
Yeah, no, pyro is AEW.
I know, but what's the kind of lights?
Strobes.
Strobe lights.
Strobes.
So when you have that mixed with the smoke,
It bounces off.
you
because
can't see anything.
that's science.
So there was a point where all three of them, and they were trying to do the stupid, sexy camera angle where they go up from their vaginas all the way up. Like, it's. I know that sounds graphic, y'all, but like
But it's
that
so
is
accurate.
If you have seen it, you know that is exactly right because they literally start from like, okay, I'll give it credit, like it starts at the knees.
Yeah.
And then we slowly pan up the body and then eventually get to the face. But we're kind of at an angle to the face, so we don't really see the face. We see boobs and then face.
Yeah. And
Like-
then cut out leotard that drives me bat shit crazy.
We could spend an entire episode just on
Let's
Mandy
not.
Rose's fashion,
Let's
and I
not.
don't want to give anybody that credit.
Nope.
Because
you know it's not Carmella. Carmella's in the back being like, that is not me. I am not involved with it. Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Oh, you think you're meaning Camilla?
Is it? But you guys go back and forth all the time. Is it Carmella?
It's Camilla.
I've been saying Carmella as a joke, thinking it's hilarious because Carmella is crazy.
Right.
So that makes sense.
So
Camilla.
that's an inside joke, friends.
Sorry.
So our friend of the show, or has not been on the show yet, but needs to be on the show.
I don't know why he hasn't.
Dylan Rich comes over and watches with us, and we have this joke that there is a very flustered makeup, hair, and costume stylist that is backstage on NXT,
Just running
called
around.
Camilla, and her name has changed a few times, so I understand the
Yes.
confusion. So,
I think I've just hybrided all of them together, and
Yes.
that Carmella actually came out.
So her name is Camilla, and she's just always frustrated going around with a makeup brush, like vigorously tapping into eyeshadow, just trying to get someone in the chair.
Yep.
Like, because NXT goes so fast now that, like, we just made it a running joke that, like, people
Yes.
are just flying by her chair being
Yep.
like, can you do my makeup? And just do
Yep.
it super quick.
Or if there's like a fashion like faux pas, like when they come out, like, oh nope, Camilla was not
Camilla
involved
was
with
not
that.
involved
she
with
did
that.
not make that choice.
She's standing
Lord
up in
have
the back
mercy.
saying, nope, that's not for me.
I'm gonna go take my break now.
Yes. But I think what I mean to say with all of the lights and everything,
Yes.
like every single entrance, there were moments that were so bright, and if there was a hint of smoke in their entrance, you could not see them. And there
You
was a
genuinely
moment
couldn't look through.
in Toxic Attraction's entrance where you couldn't see them.
It looked like they got caught in cotton candy.
Yes.
Because the light turned like this really gross soft pink.
Yes.
And then it was like almost like they were going, like ripping
climbing
through
it. No, you're exactly right. It
was
looked like
so
thick
gross
cotton
looking.
candy.
Ugh.
Like it was. So
Like that's a Katy Perry music video.
they
That's
either
not
need
a
to
wrestling.
tone it down,
I don't-
or they need to put a warning saying like,
Yeah.
you know, we have extreme strobe lights and
Yeah.
they could cause you to have a seizure.
They're gonna get sued if they don't.
No, I know. Well, I mean, I'm surprised. I guess maybe people have to sign a waiver when they come watch it, but
Of course, they always have their legal team on their side.
So we have, like, all of them are in the shark cages, which are in the audience now, which I thought was extremely strange, and I did not like that choice.
It almost seemed like that was a last minute choice, though, if I'm going to be honest.
Well-
that they were like, yeah, we've got this massive cage. We got it all set. Oh, shit.
Yeah, because they had no space.
They were like,
because
"Where do we put it?"
we're in the performance center now instead of Full Sail, and actually last year because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time that they had ever hosted War Games at Full Sail.
Mm-hmm.
So really, Full Sail didn't have the capacity for it either.
Nope.
Because they were always on the road with War Games and in arenas. So you have that massive ramp space where you can fit 2 shark cages, no problem.
Yeah.
So what they ended up doing was they put like handheld cameras in the cage, and they would cut to them every so often.
Yeah.
But it would never be when any of them were cheering.
No, or
because
it would be
they
like,
would just be
oh, the
standing
camera's on.
there.
Oh, ha, ha, ha. Like,
Right, like I guess like a red light would pop on when it was on or something.
Yeah.
But like that's part of what makes it fun in the beginning of those matches, because in the first like 20 to 30 minutes, depending on like how crazy the spots are, when everyone's being trickled into the match and like one by one they're going in, like sometimes it can get a little boring.
yeah.
Right? So like half of it is seeing the reactions from the shark cage.
Yeah, and they could sit there and talk smack to each other.
And you can hear them because the camera's right there and the mic is right there.
There's still no other War Games that comes to mind immediately other than when Dakota Kai screwed over Tegan Knox.
Yes.
There's nothing better. And like that is pinnacle of War Games to me.
Where she didn't even get out of the cage.
No.
She slammed her knee repeatedly into the cage.
Into the door.
Yes.
Just over and over.
Yeah, and that was all a cage spot.
The cages are story.
Yeah.
And when you take them out, it leaves a weird taste in your mouth.
Well, yeah, and they had to run through the audience.
Yeah.
So it gave me the
so
like...
glad no one, that guy from Seth Rollins is
Oh my
so
God.
glad that he wasn't there. Oh my gosh.
I didn't even think about that. But
Like, there's weirdos out there, man.
lots of weirdos.
Don't touch them.
Don't touch them.
The weirdos, or don't let the weirdos touch you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Life advice.
Yes.
The more you know.
The more you know.
That was great.
The weirdos, man.
So yeah, we had Dakota and Kaylee start the match, which I feel like was a good choice because,
Yes.
I mean, they had basically the first 2 people that start it. They just have basically a 5-minute match.
Yes.
So you need to have your 2 strongest people, in my opinion, start out those matches.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm not going to go through every single spot. And
No.
listeners, you know me. I have written down every single spot.
She has.
But one of the things I did want to point out was that, which is something that a lot of people have in the wrestling community have been talking about with this match in particular, is usually for War Games matches, the heel team has the advantage. So in
That
the
is true.
episode before this, before War Games, they always have an advantage ladder match.
That is
Right?
true.
So I think it was Kaylee and Io, I think, for the women. They did the ladder match, and then, oh God, I can't remember the other ones. But anyway, there's 2 people from one from each team, and whoever wins the ladder match, and they get the briefcase at the top of the ladder.
Yes.
Whoever gets the briefcase gets the advantage.
Yes. And then
So
that means their team comes out after.
yes. So meaning that whoever starts in the match, whoever's teammate comes in like the very next person, so the third person, that's who has the advantage, because then that team will always have the upper hand.
Yes.
So it'll always be 2-on-1 or, whatever else happens, right? So usually in war games, the heel team always gets the advantage.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Underdog story.
Yeah, but they don't always win.
Fair.
Like the babyface team doesn't always win.
Yeah.
But the heel team always seems to get the advantage. Well, in the women's match, the babyface team won the advantage. So meaning Io,
That's
Raquel,
right.
Kaylee, and Cora. So they had the advantage. But in this match, it did not matter. So their advantage that they won didn't matter
It was
at all.
pointless. Like, it was
Right.
like that match didn't
So even
matter.
like to say, I think it was the War Games with Undisputed Era and Tommaso's team. I can't remember exactly who was on Tommaso's team. I just remember it was
Yeah.
the crazy spot where he did the air raid crash with Adam off of
Oh,
the top
no.
of the
Our table.
cage.
It's broken.
It's broken. So I remember in that match, now people who are listening who may have better memories than me, they may correct me on this, but I'm pretty sure that Tommaso's team, the Undisputed Era team had the advantage going in, but they won it like at the last minute. They did not really like
That sounds
have
correct.
the upper hand until the very end.
Yeah.
Right? So with this one, they didn't like the team that had the advantage didn't have the advantage at all. They
Yeah.
just squeaked it out at the last minute.
Yeah.
So I think the appeal is even if you have the advantage and you don't have the upper hand, you like gradually get it
Yeah.
as time goes on.
Yeah.
Like this was like a slaughter until like the very end.
It was.
And the way that it ended also was a little anticlimactic to me.
Yeah, it just fizzled out.
It did, and I understand why they wanted Cora Jade to get the pin, right?
As Ted says, skateboard girl.
Skateboard girl, who I will say she impressed me in this match.
I genuinely thought she was hurt.
I did
for
too.
real did thought
She
that
worked
she was
that
dead.
entire crowd too.
Yeah.
So basically, listeners, like what happened was Cora Jade, who is only 20 years old.
That's
by the way.
bananas.
She's the youngest person
to ever be in a
to
takeover.
ever be in a War Games match.
Oh, not just takeover, like a War Games match?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
Yes. So, because I think Austin Theory beat her to that for an
that's
actual
right.
takeover.
Because he was like, what, 19?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But so she's the youngest person, not just woman, but person to ever compete in a War Games match.
Yeah,
So
ladies.
she comes out and she's cute as a button, right? Like she's super cute. She has a skateboard.
Yo.
Usually she has a baby skateboard, but
She's
had
got
like
the trick skateboard.
She had an adult one this time, and she could not ride it.
she couldn't.
So she tried to go down the ramp, and it just went out from under her. She didn't fall or anything, but she left it.
She got off and she was like, nope, okay. And she picked it up. She kept going. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
No, she knew what to do.
Yep.
But so the crowd they started chanting, "You can't skate," at the beginning of this
Poor
match.
baby.
I did not realize that until I watched it back a second time
Aw,
tonight.
I didn't
was
hear
like,
that.
"Yo, that's mean." Like she hasn't even wrestled yet.
Oh, you
Like,
keep that in, but then you're going to take out some of the other stuff that
I
comes in
know.
later? Okay,
Yes.
whatever.
So
Whatever.
So they start chanting that, and then by the end of this match, they're chanting Cora Jade. So she totally flips them.
Yeah. She
be
flipped
on
me.
her side.
I'll be real. We grabbed on her for a little bit there.
I was like, okay, yeah, she's cute, but like, she's probably not going to do much in this match. She's probably
Yeah.
just a filler person. So the spot that this whole like injury,
Yes.
air quotes injury leads up to, is they put JC Jane on a table. And Io and Kaylee are kind of arguing back and forth on who is going to go up and do the top rope spot or the top of the cage spot. And Io is famous for those, and Kaylee has done some in the past. So they're like kind of going back and forth. And then Cora just walks through them
Dun, 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 dun.
and starts climbing. And they're like,
What?
okay, sure, little one. Like, we'll see what happens here.
We won.
So she climbs up to the top and does a freaking front flip off the top and hits JC square in the middle of the table and
Yeah.
breaks the table in half.
Yeah.
Like, it was a great spot. And I just loved Io and Kaylee's reaction to it because they were like, "Oh my god, she actually did it."
Yeah.
Like,
however, when we were watching it live, it did not look like she went all the way over.
It did
so it looked like she got wrecked.
and she sold it.
Oh my gosh, I swore she was dead. Like, I thought that they were actually going to take her out. And then there was this awesome part afterwards where, because she dislocated her elbow. And
no, I think it was her shoulder.
Shoulder, yes, shoulder. Yeah. Sorry, excuse me, shoulder. And so she's holding on to it, and the, refs come out, and they're like, yeah, come on, get her out. And then Io goes, no, I got it. Grabs her and shoves her arm back into its socket.
Yeah.
And
it looks brutal.
so we were talking about this and I feel bad because she's really awesome, but we were talking about this sweet little baby girl and all of the matches that she's had, like most of them, she's just been a jobber. Mm-hmm. And so I felt bad, but I was saying, well, that's why her reactions are so good, because that's all she's been doing.
Yes,
since
that's
she got here was losing and having the crap kicked out of her.
Her and Gigi.
All
they've ever done since they've been on this roster are be jobbers and filler matches
get
for
the
all the
shit
people.
knocked out of them.
And so, it's a great point. Like, of course they're going to be great at selling.
Yeah.
Like, there were moments where, like, Cora would get hit in the face and she would legit look like she wasn't there
like
anymore.
a kicked puppy.
Yes.
Like, she looked dead.
Like, it was very entertaining.
She
like,
did good.
They both did a really, really good job. And I mean, everybody in this match, like, carried their own.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really see anyone who was I didn't see a lot from Io this time.
No.
I don't know if that was on purpose.
We had our trash can moment, but it wasn't
Yes,
even
but
really
not
with her.
really.
Exactly.
Like, Dakota got put into the trash can.
That
so
was
Dakota
funny.
gets put in the trash can and Raquel swings her around.
That was really
like
funny.
Cesaro swing style and like throws her down.
Husband.
And then I think Io does like a moonsault while she's in the trash can onto the trash can
That's
or something.
about it. Yeah.
But other
and
than
she didn't
that,
even go to the second rope for that.
No.
No.
No, she teased going up to the top, but
Yeah,
then that was it. So I think for the finish for this, they set it up to where like Cora's basically been in the corner the entire time.
Yeah.
Holding her shoulder.
Yeah.
After Io has played doctor and put her shoulder back in.
Yeah, that was
the whole
nasty,
reason
though.
why she did that was because if Cora left the cage, they would have lost.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why she was like, "No, I got this.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do it." And they're like,
What?
no, like,
No.
you're not a doctor. Like, what are you doing?
And then,
yeah, and she sold it really well. She's
oof.
in the corner, and then they periodically, team members go and check on her and like make sure she's okay, and then go to fight. They'll be like, "Okay, are you good? Okay, I'm gonna go beat her ass now." Like, and then so I really enjoyed that because they were so like being mama bears.
They
to
were.
her.
They were being
And
mama
then there
bears.
was one spot toward the end where they're all like have kendo sticks like around her, being like, "Nope,
yeah, like,
not
don't
my
even
baby,
try it.
not my baby bear," And so toward the end, Toxic Attraction like get the upper hand, and Cora's like one armed with a kendo stick, like is beating them back and everything.
She did whap the shit out of one of them.
She did.
She whapped the
A couple of them,
Out
yeah.
of
And so they overtake her, and then Mandy does a running knee, which she completely misses.
Oh, it was awful. It was so bad.
And but Cora sells it like she hit her in the face.
Like, I forgot that, and then it just hurt my soul more.
Yeah,
Like, oh.
and it was right at the camera angle too, where it was like right in front of it.
bad.
But so Mandy goes to pin her and is like, "Oh, this is super easy." And then Cora kicks out, and I don't know who was more surprised, Mandy or Cora. Like Cora's
eyes went as big
she
as
was like,
saucers.
"Oh my god, I just kicked out of that. Holy shit, I'm immortal." Like that was like what was going through her face.
I'm immortal.
And so then there's like a whole nother sequence where like everybody's laid out.
Yep.
Like everybody's laid on the
They're
floor.
passed out
and
and dead.
Cora pops up and is like, "Oh,
huh.
and like crawls over with her one good arm.
One arm.
Rolls up JC Jane, 1, 2, 3, match is over.
And it's all like, wait, what?
And then everybody just kind of pops up and is like, groundhogs, like, wait,
Digaton.
what? And
was a
it was
meerkat.
it was fine. Like it was okay, but like I kind of wish that like she would have just like knocked the shit out of someone with the
And
kendo
then-
stick and then pinned them.
Yes.
I feel like it would have been a little bit more satisfying because she
Just
did
hair.
do a lot of work in that match, and I think that would have been
Yeah.
a nicer ending than her just realizing that JC was knocked out and
Yeah.
and JC was the closest person to her, and then just pin her. But I mean, overall, like I feel like that was fine because
Yeah.
they needed to win, I guess, to put Cora over.
Yeah.
Because she was, the one who got the pin. But I think if they did it a little bit differently, I would have liked it a little bit more. But, I mean, it was pretty solid.
Okay. It really was.
Are you okay?
I am. I feel bad because I've been sitting here and I'm thinking about it. I was like, I can't remember a single thing EO did. And that's kind of really, like, it just hit me, like,
Yeah.
sorry, and I didn't mean to, like, zone out there, but
You did.
it really just suddenly was like, why?
I think it's because they're trying to put over these newer batch of people. I mean, and she's one of the old bloods, Like, they're trying to put more focus on the younger talent. And I'm guessing that's why, because, like, Raquel,
Yeah.
her, and Dakota had a few spots, and Mandy did nothing because she came in last,
Yeah.
right? So,
But, ooh, I'm pretty.
right, well, she's also, like, the mega heel of the match. So,
Yes.
just like Adam had that spot when he was in War Games, like, he's the mega heel of the match. So, like,
Yes.
the big heel of the match is going to let all the underlings go before them.
Yeah.
And,
Like,
so they
Peasants.
can have the most energy, right? So that I'm not mad at.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's probably why. But, I mean, I was impressed with Cora.
Yes.
I was impressed with Gigi.
I was pleasantly surprised
JC
with Cora.
did fine when she wasn't screaming,
Yeah.
so.
There was something I said about JC and I felt so bad. Like I look at her and it's like that Doctor Who moment. I don't know if anyone listens to Doctor Who or watched Doctor Who here, but you look at someone and then you just turn and then you forget what their face looks like. There's a character like that on Doctor Who. And
Yeah.
you look at them and then you turn and then you've forgotten completely. And then you turn back around and then you're like staring at them and it's like, wait, I should remember you.
Yeah.
And it's like, oops, sorry.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
I feel like overall it was good. I gave it a 3. I feel like it was solid. Like there were some moments that were a little clunky.
But overall, yeah.
But overall, baby faces go over.
Yay.
And we move on. And I'm not going to try to harp on this too much because I don't want to spend so much time on it.
Yeah.
But there were so many freaking promos and ads during this show.
That were just
After every single match, we either got a promo for another superstar
Yeah.
that was not on the takeover.
No, not at all.
Or an ad for WWE for some other programming
Which was
or Christmas
ridiculous.
ad or whatever. So, just in the first, like, I wrote down like what
Yeah.
happened in between the War Games match and the tag team match. Okay.
Yeah.
So we had a promo for Tiffany Stratton, a promo for Briggs and Jensen, an ad, a promo for Boa, a promo for MSK, and then a backstage segment with the Black and Gold brand for War Games. That's 6 different things that we
Why?
had. Now, I can understand if we are trying to set up, get the War Games cage out of there.
Yeah.
I understand that. But there have been times when we have seen the War Games cage going up and down.
like that's actually kind of really cool.
Yes.
When they show it.
Right. So,
Like,
but I
that's
think
awesome.
they had to take it apart in pieces because they're at the Performance Center. So I understand if they need to, like, stall and do some
see.
time, but there were so many pointless, long promos from these people. And it felt like I wasn't watching a takeover. It felt like I was watching
A variety show.
just a regular weekly show.
Yeah.
So that really took me out of it because you maybe will have a ad or two in a backstage segment in between matches, but like every single match had that much programming in between it.
Yeah.
And it was a lot.
And Ikaman.
Oh God, I don't even want to entertain it.
That's it.
I don't want to entertain it.
If you want to
because
know, just go and look it up. You'll
Yeah.
know. You'll find it. Don't worry.
we don't want you to look it up, but Ika
I
Manjiro,
love that
I'm just going to
man.
say Ika Manjiro is way better than what they're what they're doing to him right now.
He
and
deserves a world better.
what they're doing is extremely racist, and we do not approve of it on this show, and that's all we'll say about it.
Yes.
So next we have the tag team championship match. So we have our champions Imperium versus Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner. And to me,
Neanderthal.
Yes, the Neanderthal, as Gina lovingly calls him. So he has a very big forehead. I will give
It's
you
got
that.
the brow structure. Y'all
It's
know what I'm
very
talking about.
sloped head,
Yep.
right? Yeah. So this was, in my opinion, the best non-War Games match of the night. I enjoyed it a lot, and it was all because of Imperium and Kyle.
Imperium
It had
is always...
nothing to do with Von Wagner
Yeah,
at
he
all.
couldn't go hop off a
He's
cliff.
the most generic,
Boring.
boring big man I have ever seen in my life.
Like, I just stare at him and I go, what is so great about you?
all he is he big man.
He
He big man.
big scary man.
Big scary man.
And not even scary.
He does not talk, and I run and I hit you, right?
Ah.
And
Not even well, mind you.
Like-
there's a couple of times where he's like, oh yeah, I'll do this one move. I don't remember anything he does.
and him and Kyle as a team just never registered with me whatsoever.
No.
They were, and spoiler alert, at the end of this match, Von Wagner tries to turn on him
Which,
and freaking misses.
yeah.
And Kyle just wails on him.
Yeah.
Right? But like no one cared.
No
Because
one.
no one cared about this tag team.
I didn't.
They were together for all of a month.
Then they
And-
went on their camping trip though.
Oh God. Like again, with these vignettes and these promos, they are so overly produced and it is just they're gross and I don't like them. But like
I hate it. Thanks.
they're like, "Hey, here's this tag team, you need to care." And I'm like, no.
That's not how this works.
You need to do some of the work. Like, you need to show me why I need to care about these two people being friends who have never spoken
Who
to
don't
each
give
other.
two shits about each other.
No, they don't.
None.
You could tell Kyle did not care at all about this match.
Kyle had to go home after some of those promos and just chug some
Yeah.
alcohol.
And I think because, like, you know, there was a whole, like, the whole night there was an underlying feel of this was Kyle's last match and this was also Johnny's last match.
Oof, they
So,
played up Johnny's
They
last
did,
match.
which I think we'll get into that at the last one. I really
Yes.
want to dive into that.
Yes.
But with Kyle's, they didn't talk about it.
No, I didn't know until after.
Uh-huh. So him and Johnny's contract are up this week.
Yeah.
So, like, in, like, 2 days' time, I think, from when we're recording this.
Yes.
Yeah, and so the only good thing that I have, which I know I gave this like probably one of my highest ratings of the whole night, but it was because of Eichner and Bartel.
They're
Like Eichner, like they have this tag team move where one of them will set the opponent up in the corner upside down, and then one of them will run at him from one side, and the other one will run in the other, and do
just-
kind of like a feet first kind of. I don't know
Yeah.
what the term is, but like
a kick to the face.
yeah, but from both sides,
Yes.
and it is perfect and synchronized every single time, and it's just
That's
they're
a
just
tag
so
team.
fun.
That's a tag team.
Yeah, and it's just so fun to watch. And there was lots of false finishes.
Oh.
And like
good ones,
there
too.
was one where like there was a part where Kyle rolls Eichner up and it's in the corner
Mm-hmm.
and Bartel sees it, and all Bartel does is just pushes Eichner a little bit to the left to change the position
Oh,
to make it
yeah.
so that Kyle is in the pinning position.
Oh, yeah.
And it was
yeah.
just like a boop, boop, like just a quick little, and then he like goes back
like
away.
Pillsbury Doughboy. Woohoo!
But it was so seamless and so simple.
Yes.
And I love detail shit like that.
See, those two are just fantastic. Not just because of their music, but just I don't know if you guys know this, but I love their intro music.
It's so classic.
It's so quite literally.
Yes.
But their chemistry, like the whole faction that they had, like just everything, they're just awesome.
Yeah, like there was one spot where Eichner like is going to go and hit Kyle, but he just jumps over him from the floor to the top ring.
yes,
Like just jumps it
boing.
and then jumps onto Von Wagner. Like
You
on the
know.
outside of the ring.
You know.
Just as you do.
like
Like leapfrog
hopping
over.
like a bunny.
I love it. Oh. But yes, shout out to Tyler Breeze. So it's
Matt in the chair.
so fun to watch. And so, I mean, the finish to this is, unless you want to say anything else about it.
Nope.
Okay.
You're good.
So the finish is kind of elaborate.
Very detailed, which is why I'm glad you got it down.
Yes.
Because I would not remember it.
Because you know me. So Kyle has Eichner in a submission, one of his many submissions that he does. And Eichner powers through and lifts him into what looks like a power bomb position.
Yes.
But he sets him up like above his head.
Oh my gosh.
Like from the ground. Like
the core thing. Yes.
so Eichner is legit like on the ground, like shoulders to the mat.
Full deadlift.
In this like submission hold, and then he just powers, like he's legit about to like pass out, and the ref does the whole spot that we love so much where he raises the hand, and then like Eichner like takes his hand away from him, and he's like, no,
and he claws and holds his hand and like, no,
and then he powers through and lifts him from the ground up into what looks like a power bomb position, and Bartel tags himself in, and then gets to the second rope, and then just does a spinning uppercut right into Kyle's face, and then he power bombs him onto the floor. Like it just
fantastic,
like chef's kiss, like so good. And then he they call it the Imperial Bomb.
Nice
is what that move is called.
Nice.
And so Kyle takes the pin, and Imperium retains. And I think Kyle taking the pin makes sense with it being his last match.
Well, not only that, like they obviously have very strong feelings toward Neanderthal man and want to push him.
Yeah, but the crowd hates him.
Since when has anyone higher up given a rat's ass about what the actual audience? They literally tape over and make different sounds and pipe in shit.
Oh, I know that. I'm just saying.
I know.
And
he's awful.
He is awful.
But they want to push him so bad. And
but
of course it's going to be Kyle.
About the end of this
Say it.
Von Wagner tries so hard to turn on him, because what happens is the thank you Kyle chants are starting.
Thank you, Kyle.
And he's like, thank you guys, like you're great, like awesome. And then you just see Von Wagner like, he's like, yay, and like standing and clapping, and then it just like, it occurs to him, he's like, oh, this is my cue, I have to get angry. And he like hulks out. Like
it's like the beginning actors like class.
You see the acting moment come across his face, and he's just like, goes from yay to and tries to do a clothesline.
Yeah.
Like it is that quick.
Oh my gosh.
And Kyle like sees it from a mile away,
because no duh,
and then just ducks him, like just.
I wonder if that was like planned.
Oh, they plan out everything on this show now. So
That's
yes,
fair.
it was planned.
Yeah, it would have been really funny to like
because
see the looks on like the big wigs' faces, like if
Kyle
actually had like wasn't supposed to and like was supposed to get decked and beat the shit out of.
Well, maybe, I don't know, because it led to a steel cage match on Tuesday. Like
I forgot about
following
Tuesday.
week.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, that's a little.
The great tidbit at the end.
Yes.
When he was taunting Von Wagner at the end.
Oh no, I'm gonna
he
cry.
flashes the Undisputed Era symbol.
And everyone freaks
out. And I was watching the replay today, and Ted was like, do you think that they're going to blur that out?
Did they?
No, they didn't. They didn't cut it.
Interesting.
So I was like, I don't see why they would, though. Like, they own the name Undisputed Era. So that's technically their property and their merchandise.
So they're probably like, yeah.
Right. But
sell out these last t-shirts.
I loved it. It was a great moment for me.
Amazing.
Me being such a huge, Undisputed Era fan. Like,
we squealed like little pigs.
We did. We did.
We freaked.
It was great. So, I mean, despite what I said about Von Wagner, I still gave this match a 4. Because,
minus him, yes.
Yes, because I was like, I'm not going to, like, I'm not going to let Von Wagner, like, bring this down a whole point. So I was just like, it was still a really, really great match. So we have more ads and promos. And then we move on to the hair versus hair match with Duke Hudson and Cameron Grimes.
Everyone take in that deep breath of...
We all hate hair versus hair matches. We just
Okay.
don't like. Okay. When I say we, I mean me.
No,
but
no.
I don't like them.
I would be fine more with a hair match if they both had hair. It's stupid to get into a match and be like, you know what? I'm going to take all your hair off. Bitch, there's like an inch on every guy's hair that like is in these hair matches. There's one guy who, of course, always has the long hair.
So that's Cameron.
But the other, like, what stakes do they have? Like, oh, I'm going to shave my head when I only had about 2 inches of, like, semi-coiffed hair on the top of my head? Like, why is that such a big stake?
Well, and that's why I had such a issue with it when Orange Cassidy and Matt Hardy did it.
Yes!
Because it made no sense. I'm like, Orange Cassidy has, mind it, beautiful hair.
Breathtaking.
But, like, very short coiffed hair.
Yes.
Like you said. And Matt Hardy had the long hair to his shoulders.
Yes.
So I just don't ever understand. I know that it's an old,
and that's the thing.
old school match that, like, everybody who was a fan of, like, the old school days, like, are going to be excited about. But at the same time, it's not funny anymore.
And
like,
not only that, it's just... Everyone had mullets back then. That's why
that's
it's like,
true.
oh, shave their hair. Also, we should just go ahead and just write to them and be like, hey, if you're going to do hair matches, anyone with a mullet needs to be out there. Do they wrestle? No. But we'll just shave their hair
They
for
need
them.
to be included in this, even if they don't wrestle.
Oh,
they just need to be.
Oh, they're the mic guy. Yeah, no, get them in there.
So I legit
shave them.
I wrote it was fine, weakest match of the night.
And
Like-
even for Cameron,
Yeah, it was.
it was.
Something was just off, and I don't know if it was Duke or if it was Cameron or if it was a mixture of both. But like it looked like all of Duke's moves looked like he was performing underwater. Like it legit looked a half second off.
Yeah.
And even like when he did like a Spikerana, which is like one of the coolest moves
It
to
is
me.
awesome.
It looked off. Like everything just looked slow and sloppy, even though it wasn't. It wasn't that
Like their hearts weren't
enjoyable.
into it.
And I feel like that was the theme with a lot of these mid-card matches, is that like your heart is just not
Just get
into
through.
it. Just get through it. And
Make it through. You got
there's
this.
no fire in it. There's no like. To be honest and to be fair, that's how a lot of the like Raw and SmackDown pay-per-views feel sometimes.
Yes.
Like they're just going through the motions to get that paycheck.
Exactly.
Right? And that's
It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, and there's no fire behind it. There's no meaning behind it. Like this, there was build up to this. I don't care what the build up was. It was dumb.
It
like,
was.
Duke Hudson is a professional poker player now. Like it doesn't make any sense. And then now Cameron is involved because he's the money guy.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what made it be hair versus hair.
Yeah, what does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
Like,
so I legit wrote nothing down.
No.
And I wrote down finish. Honestly, I have no idea, but Cameron won. Like I was so just. I think
we genuinely talked through that match.
we did.
I think we looked up at the last second. That's why we didn't know what the finish was.
What does dogs call it? The popcorn match.
Yes.
Yeah, this was the popcorn match.
Absolutely.
Like, and I hate that for Cameron
Because Cameron is awesome and deserves so much better than that.
He was on such a run before the rebrand,
And they just
and he's still over. Thank God.
yeah,
right?
because he's
But-
awesome.
So he still gets a huge pop every time he comes out. But
To the
and
moon.
actually, I don't mind his shorter hair. I kind of enjoy it.
Because it wasn't, and that's what it is. Because it's not just his hair; they trimmed his beard too, and y'all, he looking pretty.
He looked pretty good.
The distinguished gentleman.
Look at this distinguished gentleman.
Yes,
Looking
with a
all-
shaved beard,
Looking
and
all
a
fancy. Like, so basically, Cameron wins. I can't tell you the finish, but
Yeah, well, yeah.
so Duke tried to do the whole standard heel thing,
and I lost, so that means I'm gonna actually take over.
and he tried to avoid it, and he knocked Cameron out and put him in the chair, and then Cameron's like, "Whoa, no way," and reverses it, and then knocks Duke out, and I don't know if Duke got
The
this
eye.
cut before the match. I'm convinced that Cameron sliced his eyelid open with that razor. Now I do not handle a razor. I do not shave my head, so I get this done professionally.
Yes, you do.
So listeners, I have part of my head shaved, but I don't do that myself.
Nope.
So I do not handle a razor at all.
Nope.
I don't know how possible it is for you to cut your skin with it.
I mean, the thing that I was watching was that he's doing I've got him in the headlock kind of thing. But if he's passed out, you don't need to be so rough with him. You can just go, I'm gonna tilt your head.
But it looked like he hit his
It
eye.
did.
And then
He was going so rough with him.
he comes back and there's blood on his eyelid, on
Yeah.
Duke's eyelid.
And it's not gushing or anything.
No,
but
but
it's
it's
obviously
still-
that wasn't there 10 seconds ago.
Right. So
What happened there?
He goes and shaves his head and it's all patchy, and he comes to in the middle of it. And I will say his facial expressions were pretty good.
Yeah.
But it rolls over into the next episode on Tuesday, and he comes out in a blonde wig. And it's very evident that it's a wig.
That's what
And
that is.
it's-
That curly haired whatever the meme I was seeing on the internet.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
But no,
Like
it
it's
wasn't.
like
It
tight-
wasn't curly.
Okay, then
It
that's
was-
something else
It
I've
was
been saying.
straight. So
Oh my gosh.
I thought it was funny.
That's amazing.
It's the typical heel, if they lose the match and they have it out, and they have patchy hair or whatever, they either wear a mask or they put a wig on, right? But
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. So I'm like, okay, the aftermath of this was pretty good, but the match itself just was not great.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So I mean, I gave it a 2.5.
I was genuinely just going to give it a 2.
Yeah, because
2.
it just didn't matter. And I think they put it there for shock value because they're like, oh, people will, think this is funny or, whatever. But
Yeah, no.
so then we have more ads and promos. I legit kid you not, it was after every single match. So didn't write those down. But
Yep.
then we go to the Cruiserweight Championship match between
We got feelings, y'all.
Roderick Strong and Joe Gacy. Now, Roderick Strong is your Cruiserweight champion. And
Why? I don't know.
what? So I said, I don't want to talk about this match. I want to talk about the state of the Cruiserweight division.
Yes.
So is that okay with you?
Their lack
Okay.
thereof? Yes, absolutely. Please, let's discuss this.
So for those of you who are not aware, and I don't know, I've been living under a rock, I guess, over the past 2 years.
Also, why are you listening to the podcast if you don't know what's going on
That's true.
there?
I just like to,
I mean, not
I
bad,
like
though.
to inform people. They may not know.
That is fair.
So WWE has been releasing a shit ton of people, in the over 100 at this
now,
point.
yes, it was 84 or something like that last time, and 89, and now it's 100 something.
Yeah. So in the in the 100 range now since the start of the pandemic, they have been releasing people from their contracts, and
randomly, no rhyme or reason.
Meaning that they release them and then they have what's called a non-compete clause, meaning that they cannot compete in any other promotion for either 30 days or 90 days.
Depending on which contract you had.
Yeah, so if you had an NXT contract, it was only 30 days.
days.
If you had a main roster,
It was 90
it was
days.
90. So that is 3 months, y'all.
That's
that is
ridiculous.
a long time.
And they're not paying them during those 3 months.
No, they don't.
Because
No.
screw you.
If they're cutting them and releasing them, why would they pay them
Exactly.
in that interim?
Ugh.
So they have, in those budget cuts, they have basically gutted the Cruiserweight division. So
Just
they had a
NXT in
show
general.
called 205 Live, which now is still going on.
Why? How?
Even though they have
'cause they put
3
Austin Theory.
members on their roster.
That's it? Are you
So what they have been
serious?
doing, they have been bringing in people that are not cruiserweights. So Odyssey Jones was on there at one
No,
point.
not my man Odyssey.
Yes. So Odyssey Jones is a big man. He is not 205 pounds or less.
His arm is 205 pounds. Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
My gosh.
So-
his smile is 205 pounds.
There it is.
He got a great smile.
So they've been doing that to keep the show alive.
Then,
But the title is on someone who is not even on 205 Live. He is on NXT full time.
yes.
So
Because
the
that
title,
makes sense.
Title lives on NXT. And it has for a while because it was on Kushida before Roderick.
Gosh, that was awesome when it was on Kushida.
It was great. So now Joe Gacy comes along, and his character is supposed to be the PC woke member of NXT. And it is, I don't even know who it is supposed to be for, because he is basically making fun of the like millennial and Gen Z culture of being PC and wanting to be inclusive and all inclusive to everyone and all races and genders and creeds, and like that's great on paper, but as a wrestling character, like who are you playing for? And two, when you have that character in your cycle,
It's like a boomer trying to write and be like, guys, this is
well,
ridiculous.
that's
Like
who
we're
it
laughing.
is.
That's exactly what it is.
No, that's who they are.
Yeah.
Because it's Bruce Pritchard and
Oh, I
all
don't wanna
those guys.
hear that stupid man's name.
That's who's writing this shit.
And that's the thing. They're like, yeah, like they're gonna actually like it, and they're gonna like actually root for this guy. And then the irony is like, oh my
He
god,
sucks.
man, like get it? Like,
He's a heel.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's like, like kind of joke and sucks.
yeah, because all he does is spout buzzwords all day, every day.
They're like,
And-
oh, insensitive material, like, or
Safe-
what's the word?
safe space.
Safe space.
That's
like,
a big one
oh
that
my
he uses.
Gosh.
And so basically what he has done for this match is he is saying and touting that the Cruiserweight title is discriminatory against anyone who is over 205 pounds.
Which I just want to say, he does not even look 200 pounds. Like,
No, he's big boy.
really?
Yeah, he's
I
just
think it's-
short. Like he kind of hides
Well,
he's stout.
I think it's also that he always wears the black button down.
Yeah, that's black is slimming.
Black is nice. So,
So he's saying that it is discriminatory against those people. So he is lifting the weight restriction on the title for his match.
yeah, because he has the authority to do
Sure. Let's go with that because
Yeah.
no one's going to think too much about any of this,
Yeah.
right? So
My brain hurts.
he is able to challenge for this match because of that.
Because.
Just because.
As dogs would say, because fuck you.
Cause fuck you. Yeah, exactly. No, that is basically his whole character, essentially.
Oh,
Is
that's
like,
just-
I can do this because fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, so the match was fine.
He can work.
Yes, he can. He is a very good in-ring worker.
I'd like to see him do some other character, but yes.
Yeah. And I
He's-
think what is happening, and I think we discussed this earlier, like, this is a shit gimmick.
Oh, it's awful.
Right? Like,
Like,
this
piss poor.
is panning across all demographics and all audiences, right? Like nobody likes this.
Yeah.
But he's been given this, so he's like, you know what? I'm a haul ass in the ring, and I'm gonna be so good,
Yeah.
and it'll be fine, and hopefully they'll forget about it.
Yeah. And then I'll move on in like
And
10
then I'll
years
move
from now,
on.
it's fine.
Not even 10 years,
Yeah.
probably 2 at this point,
That'd be
right?
nice.
Because that's the shelf
Yeah.
life of all characters right now,
Yeah.
right? So
He's like that person that comes in when you're 19 and 20 and you just feel like you have to like completely lose who you are and overwork yourself and like just give and give and give and give and give in the workplace.
Yeah.
Because that's what you assume you have to do. And that's how you're going to get famous. And
yeah,
that's
if I
what,
just power through.
if
and-
I just do this and, I'll just do this that like one more time and like, not in a gross, rude way, but just like in a, like, no, like say another like, promo, do another thing like this.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that meme, like set where a guy's gradually putting on clown makeup.
Yes.
And by the
Yes.
end of it, he is completely in clown makeup.
Yes.
Yeah.
That.
It's
yes.
It's that.
That's exactly what bless his poor baby heart. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
If I work hard and I don't take days off,
Yes.
and I do what my boss tells me, eventually I'll get recognized.
Yes.
Yeah, and because he is great in the ring, like you said.
Yes.
But he has this character, Harland, with him, which, dude, this guy, his name was Parker Boudreaux when he came into this, which,
Badass as hell.
why would you change it from Parker Boudreaux
You could
to
have had
Harland?
some like Louisiana like deep backwoods shit
Oh, that'd be great.
backstory.
He could have still been with Joe.
Yeah.
as Parker Boudreaux.
Like, that's like the whole thing.
Yes.
Could have worked in his favor with that.
He had a gorgeous head of hair. He was super built, like really good looking guy. And then they shaved him bald, put him in coveralls, and made him not speak. Like,
a big scary
he has
bar.
not spoken this entire time. He just follows him around like a really scary looking lackey. And he interferes in this match, and he goes up to, so Diamond Mine is all around the sides,
Yep.
right? Which there's
As per usual.
a lot of them now. Which
Malcolm Bivens is just the best part of that, to watch his facial expressions.
he's great.
But
We love Malcolm.
we do.
But Harlan comes up to Ivy Nile, who is like the sole female member of this group.
And who is supposed to be this badass bitch.
She came from that like reality like strength show that The Rock hosted or something like that.
She comes out every time to the ring wearing chains and like thick chains just wrapped around her like it's a necklace.
Yeah, she's wrestled. She's good.
Ripped.
Yeah, and she's really strong and really good.
And so this next part is stupid.
So Harlan comes up behind her, picks her up like a wee baby angel, and she just like thrashes around
and flails. Like, and it's not like she did something to the match, like to interrupt it or anything.
No, he just came up to her.
decided to just, oh, I'm a lift lady. Lady, go in air. I lift lady. Oh. And it's so...
And she just like flails for a bit and then goes limp. And then he drops her because Joe's like, no,
man.
put her down.
It's
put
okay.
Her down. It's okay. And then she
Don't
like
be insensitive.
cowers away.
She runs away and like goes like...
And then the match continues.
Like nothing
it was
happened.
Pointless. Unless this furthers some storyline down the road, which I hate when they do that at pay-per-views. I hate when they do that.
Yeah.
Because you're insinuating that I'm going to continue watching. I'm sorry. Like, you're just you're putting a lot of effort on me.
You are assuming a lot there.
Like, I've already stated in this very episode that I don't want to do a lot of work. You got to do a lot of the work for me. I'm just a viewer. You're not paying me to do any work, right?
In fact, if it's Peacock, we're paying for you.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
So basically the finish on this is Strong hits him with a backbreaker and he wins.
Yeah.
Like, again, kind of anticlimactic because Roderick does 1,001 different kinds of backbreakers, and maybe he did it all throughout the match and we just didn't watch it. But a single backbreaker, to me, that's not a finisher.
He's always been lackluster to me. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah,
I feel like
whatever.
the writing's on the wall for him too.
Yeah.
Because after Kyle, like
Yeah,
Adam, Bobby, Kyle, they're all gone now.
Yeah.
And from what I have read, he signed another extension, like a new contract, at the beginning of this year. So he's locked in.
Yeah. He's got to stay for a while.
Unless they release him.
Which they might.
Which to me, if he goes up to the main roster, he's gone.
Yeah.
Like there is no...
And then literally the cruiserweights are nothing.
The only thing that was distinguishable about him was being with Undisputed Era.
That's it.
Before he was with Undisputed Era, he feuded with Drew McIntyre when Drew McIntyre was still in NXT, which shows you how long ago this was, right?
Yum.
So like 2017, something like
I
that.
thought you were going to say 27 years ago. I was going to be like, whoa, wait a minute.
No, 2017 was 27 years ago, right?
It feels like
It fucking feels like it.
It really does. 2020 was like 5 of those. So
March of 2020 was 6 of them alone. Oh my
Exactly.
gosh.
So he was feuding with Drew
Yeah.
for the title, and then Drew beat him, obviously, and then he
'Cause-
went to the wayside, and then Undisputed Era became a thing, and he got, put with them. That was the only thing that was interesting
Wow.
about him. And then now that Undisputed Era is gone and disbanded a while ago,
They have to then put him into another faction.
where he's the leader of it technically,
But
no one cares?
Oh, and can we talk about those two goons that just...
The derpiest little things I've ever seen?
The
Yes.
guy looks like he's supposed to have a bill on his face, like a duck bill, and it's not, like it got surgically removed. Like something
You
about
can't
his
say
chin.
shit like that when I'm drinking Prosecco, okay? Like, I almost just spat all over these mics. But you're right. You are absolutely right.
He just looks so wrong.
He
and
does.
It's weird, but
Yeah.
yeah. And then I still am so bitter and really frustrated about, this. You can't sit there and build up this woman as like this absolute jacked badass.
Yeah.
And then expect to play these same bullshit misogynistic feminine roles with her. Like, that's not how this works.
Well, that's how they're doing the women's division right now.
It doesn't
like
make
they're trying
sense.
to, I think in their mind, they're trying to blur the line between the feminist and the strong. I don't want to even say feminist. It wasn't feminist.
No.
Like the strong female wrestlers that we had before, and the I'm so hot, look at me, like
Well, we know who's here.
superstars that
Pritchard.
they want, right? So they're trying to incorporate those two together, and it does not work.
It's a male writer doing the bare minimum.
Yes.
Look at
It's-
these strong, badass women who can do whatever they want, but they're also sexy as hell, and the men can grab them whenever they want. And
Yes.
they'll-
And say whatever they want about them. Yes.
Yeah. It's
Those two things,
Pritchard can.
it's oil and water. It does not go together.
No.
You either can be, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, right?
It's probably right.
But I appreciate that. But I'm just saying, I'm covering my bases here with our listeners. This is just my opinion. This is not fact. Okay.
Yeah, fair.
But in the wrestling world, to me, you have two different types of women
Yes.
wrestlers.
I
You
could-
have
yes.
the badass, like sexy in that type of way,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the just straight, I'm pretty, look at me.
Yeah.
You can't have both, right?
Yeah. It's not like one can be the same.
Because even with Candace, like I always go back to her.
Yeah.
But like she was on the more like preppy, like quote unquote pretty side.
But all
she,
of her training is with like death matches and stuff.
But she never got to show any of that.
Exactly, because as soon as she got to the quote big company, they're like, oh, well, you're a woman.
And you're a cute blonde
And
from
you're
California.
small,
so-
and you're dainty.
Yes. So that proves my point. Like you can't have both in this company,
No.
right? Like it's oil and water to them. Like it
Yeah.
does not mix. They don't know how to do it. And so I think that's where you're running into the problem you have with Ivy Nile. It's like you want to like her. You want her to be this badass woman, but
Yeah.
then
She
put-
hasn't spoken yet.
No.
Like, that's dope.
Which that's great. But then you have her have this stupid trope with Harlan where she's this damsel in distress with this beast of like King Kong holding her at the top of the Empire State Building. Like, help me, I'm defenseless.
Damn, good juxtaposition
Like
there.
it's the same thing. And so I don't know if this era of NXT is going to be able to accomplish that.
No, especially
So-
if Pritchard's at the helm of this. Like,
Well,
my-
all these people just need to either go away or die. You know,
If
like
not both?
it's just
If not
I'm,
both?
I'm just being completely honest with you. Like we were fine where we were. We were just fine.
we
where
were fantastic where we were.
Yes.
Actually, we were just freaking fine.
So
it's
I
just that
gave-
Vince had his panties all in a twist. Sorry.
I'll drink to that.
You know what? Let's.
So I gave that one a 2.5
let's
because
check.
again, it didn't need to happen. It was a TV match at best.
Yeah.
Same with
If-
the hair versus hair match.
Yeah.
You know.
I was gonna say too.
Yeah.
You're
You're
being-
going lower than I am this time.
Yeah.
So we go into our last match of the night,
Okay,
which
here
is
we go.
the men's War Games match, which is Team Black and Gold, which is the NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa,
Ooh.
Pete Dunne, LA
Dude.
Knight,
What?
and Johnny Gargano.
We'll talk about LA Knight as well.
Yes.
'cause there's no freaking reason for this man to be on this team.
One of
but
these things is
whatever.
not like the other, and
He's
it's LA
like,
Knight.
I scraped him
Yes.
as a quote black and gold wrestler.
Versus Team 2.0, which is, oh God, okay, I didn't write any of these down. So it's
Carmelo
going to come back to
Hayes.
haunt me. Yes. So, oh my God, I did write them down. They're right here,
Hey!
Shelby. So we have
Believe in yourself.
Braun Breaker, Grayson Waller, Tony D'Angelo and your U.S. champion, not U.S., oh my God, I'm so blanking, North American champion, Carmelo Hayes.
I mean, like, the title doesn't really mean that much right now on him.
Well, the North American, I think, has the most clout out of all of them right now.
That's
out of
fair.
the secondary titles.
That's fair.
That I include, like,
We give
other,
it that.
like, Raw and SmackDown titles in that
yeah,
as well. Because the North American title was, I feel like a lot more prestigious than even the U.S., but that's another title for
That's
another
another
day.
story, never mind anyway.
So, this entire pay-per-view was centered around the fact that this may be Johnny Gargano's last match
Yes.
in NXT.
Which is very emotional.
So I don't know if I was in denial or if I just didn't want to think about it, because Adam leaving was such a huge blow to
Yeah.
me, because
And to the company.
Yes. And at the time, I was not as keen on AEW as I am now, and you can argue that it's because he's on there now, which is why I'm more keen to it, but whatever it takes, I guess. But him leaving, I was like, okay, this is the start. It's starting to chip away,
Yeah.
right? But I was like, but we still have Johnny, we still have Tommaso, and we still have Kyle, right?
Yep.
So we still have these, like, core pillars that I don't think will go away. And Kyle, I'm like, okay, that makes sense to me.
Yep.
Right? Like, you see the writing on the wall, and you see your friends over here living their life over at AEW and having fun, right? Obviously, you're going to want some of that.
Yep.
Right? And if you're not having fun where you are,
Obviously.
grass is greener and all that shit.
Yep.
Right? But with Johnny, I was like, nope, I think it's going to take a lot more convincing for him to go, because NXT,
He is like the number one guy.
yeah, and he has been, I mean, people have been saying this entire time. He is the backbone. He's the cornerstone. He's all those all those things.
Yeah.
Right? So going into this, I was like, okay, if they lose, then I think he might be gone. But then I was not expecting
No.
to see what we saw when he came out in his entrance.
No, that was
Because
Ooh.
so Carmelo Hayes, I know I might cry if I talk about it, but it's
Yeah.
fine. That's just how passionate we are, friends, about wrestling.
Yes, she will cry more
I
than
will,
me, but
I will cry at a drop of a hat with this shit. So Carmelo starts for 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
And all of 2.0 comes out, and then Carmelo is in the middle of the ring, and then everyone starts coming out from black and gold. And then we keep going, and then I remember you said, Shelby, he's going to start the match. I
Yep.
was like, no, like it'll probably be like,
Premonition, my dude.
it'll probably be like LA or something, like somebody, because it's Carmelo. It's not like,
Premonition.
it's not Breaker or anything, who's like the quote unquote star of that team, right? So
I roll.
then LA Knight comes out, and he's the last one before the last person, and I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
I don't know if I'm ready.
Yeah.
Like I started to literally, I was in the corner of the couch, and I
She
started,
starts dissolving into the corner, hiding.
my Shelby ball of just
Not about it.
emotion just starts to
Yep.
creep in. And then Rebel Heart starts playing.
And Shelby lost it. Actual tears, full crying.
I did. And because listeners, Rebel Heart was Johnny's single theme song, right? It was when he was in his singles run and his face singles run. And even when he turned heel for a little bit, he had it too. But that song is his song and his identity. And I legit was like, oh no, here I go.
Well-
it was a lot. And then
He also was wearing Candace on his socks.
he posted about that earlier. He had
did.
Candice LeRae, who's his
Actual
wife.
her face, on his socks.
I thought that was cute.
It's adorable.
Well, it's the first War Games that she hasn't been in,
Which is
so
ridiculous. But also
Yes.
because she's a mom.
She's gonna pop out a baby in 2 months,
So
so
she's
kind of
gonna-
can't be in a
she's-
War Games match.
Yep.
That's a little bit. That's a restriction, right?
You know that they probably were like, yeah, come on. And she's like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you?
I am very much showing.
Like she's just like turns and it's just
like out to
belly.
here. Just like
you know they
knocking shit
did. They
over.
were like, "Are you sure you can't come in? Like, are you sure you can't make it?"
I still think that was a missed opportunity that they did not just have her on screen and she just ignore the fact that she's pregnant.
Like super pregnant, and then Austin comes out and is like, "Whoa!"
And she's like, "What?"
What?
And
He's like, "I like that top."
exactly. Like, and knocking shit over and being like, "Wait,
Yes.
what?
Why is this here?
Why am I okay? Fine, whatever."
What?
Missed opportunity, in my opinion.
See,
But
call us. We could have been great writers.
not only did he have the socks, but his gear
Oh gosh, the gear. Oh my gosh, my heart.
was a patchwork quilt of all of his takeover gears.
Yep.
Because Johnny has the best gear, in my opinion.
Ever.
It is all basically different superheroes
Marvel,
every
DC,
single takeover. So
like
he had Iron Man, he had
Wolverine.
Wolverine, which was my favorite one.
Yeah, that one was amazing.
Oh, so good.
That's what they modeled the way after.
yes.
Was like all those Wolverine style
Yes,
clothing.
it was.
It was awesome.
And then there was like all these different ones. He had, I think he had a Hulk. I can't remember. But anyway, he had basically every single superhero. Oh, he had Captain Marvel. That was his big one. He was Captain Marvel. So it was all like patchwork quilted together into one thing. And then on the back of his trunks, it spelled out Johnny Takeover.
With all the logos.
All of his logos throughout. I'm just like, the detail that this man went through to design and help design this gear.
Yeah.
And
Shows a lot of love.
I think that's what made me tear up and cry, because I was like, this was a culmination of his entire career. 6 years that he has been with NXT.
That's insane.
And it's just, it was, and his emotion on his face when he came out, and him being the first entry, and him and Carmelo just having a great 5 minutes.
Carmelo
To the point-
showed up.
To the point where I was like, you know what? This sucks, because we're not going to get to see this feud. Like,
They should have had that feud forever ago.
I think they teased it.
Ugh,
But
I don't care about
we
teasing.
didn't really get it. We didn't get it.
No.
So, I mean, the whole War Games match as a whole, I mean, again, it's a War Games match, and it's the men's War Games match.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be great. And full disclosure, friends, when I was writing my notes, when I was going back, I did not write all of what happened, and I barely finished this match before we came to record.
Yes.
But the big spot that the main spots that everybody will be talking about is Grayson Waller.
Yes, because Lord have mercy.
so
Bless
I-
that baby boy.
I also noticed that, and this is just a little baby thing that annoyed me.
Nitpicky?
That's what I do. I nitpick. It's a little thing that annoyed me a bit was Cora Jade's spot from the top of the cage and his spot from top of the
You
cage
did mention that.
were in the same corner.
Yes, you
of the
did
cage,
mention that.
And basically the same thing. Except
just didn't do a
Cora's
flip.
did a flip. Cora did a flip, and he did a avalanche elbow drop.
Yep.
But it was both through a table.
Which barely made it, but
You know what? He almost did it. He
Yep.
almost made it.
yep.
But
It was by the skin of his teeth he made that one.
he's lucky that he didn't land on straight table with that.
Yeah, just straight elbow.
Yeah, I mean,
Ugh.
it still looked cool.
It
And then
did.
there
It
was
did.
another one where it was Tony D'Angelo. Him and Pete Dunne did this
He makes-
crowbar spot. Which,
yeah.
so Tony D'Angelo, his character is very like,
Hey, I'm walking here. I'm a New Yorker.
I'm a New York mobster. You'll be sleeping with the
Hey.
fishes, which
They messed with that joke.
I thought that I would not be into. I love it. I think it is so campy and so funny, and he plays it just enough.
It's just,
And
then everyone's in the audience going like, hey, doing the finger things. Like, we're all clasping our little fingers together like, hey.
it's really funny. It's
He's just got the right amount of like Philatides from Hercules.
Yes.
Like, that's what it is.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what it is. He's just Danny DeVito.
I love it. Like a taller, like
much
bigger
taller.
and bulkier Danny DeVito.
But that, like, if Philatides was a human, he'd be Tony D'Angelo.
Absolutely. So him and Pete Dunne do this swinging neck breaker crowbar spot.
That's more
Where-
than what I would have called it.
So basically just it's a net breaker with a crowbar across Dunne's chest, essentially. It was brutal looking. And again, same with like this with the women's match too. Like everybody kind of had their own spots
Yeah.
that they did. And then you had the DIY spots where, that was fun for me. The DIY,
I didn't know that they had tagged until I was watching that, and you explained it to me and all of
Gina,
that.
we are going to have to just take a weekend.
I love it.
binge,
Already loving it.
Watch old DIY, which is Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano's tag team. They were tag team champs at one point.
That sounds great.
So this was their first break into NXT.
Yeah.
Was DIY.
Yeah.
Don't know why they're called DIY. Can't remember.
But I
it
was going
doesn't
to ask
matter.
if it was an acronym, but
It doesn't matter.
Yep.
So basically, the finish to this, and I would say, listeners, go back and watch this one because this one is a very fun one.
it is fast paced.
But
it is so good.
So much going on, and even if I did get to finish it, I would not have been able to write everything down.
No,
there's
no.
no way.
No.
So the finish to this was gnarly. It was brutal in my opinion. So
Yeah.
Tommaso is going to put Carmelo through the table. So he's going to do, I can't remember what the move is called, but it's where he has him underneath his arms and he's just going to throw him behind him, I think. But he has him lifted up partially, and Braun Breaker just spears him through the table. Spears Tommaso through the table that's set up in the corner of the cage.
Yeah.
And then pulls him out and does just a massive slam, and then he pins him. So Team 2.0 wins. And
The subtext is just
I liked in theory, I liked the concept of this match, right? So they're acknowledging the fact that you have Team 2.0, which are the new blood,
Yeah.
right? And the new people that you're trying to have us like,
Yes.
right? And you're trying to put over. And then you have the old school people, right? Team Black and Gold.
yes.
And
The classics.
the classics, right? Team 2.0 were the heels in this match.
Whether they liked it or not.
No, they build them as the heel.
Yeah.
They built them up in the build up to this match. Team 2.0 were the clear heels.
Yeah, that's
they were
fair.
being booed from the beginning.
Oh,
of
which
this
they.
match.
Oh, but you would never know that if you went and watched it again.
That is really bothering you, isn't it?
It bothers the piss out of me. They've dubbed a lot of stuff, but
Yeah.
it's you can't go back and dub over oh wait, but yeah, I know we build them as the heel, but we don't actually want you guys booing for them. Wait, but this is the people we pick.
Yeah, but see, it sends a really weird message to me.
Yeah.
That the team that you were trying to push,
Yes.
and basically shove down our throats without our consent, you're billing them as your heels,
But
and you're
then-
wanting the crowd to boo them and to cheer the
Yes.
team that you're trying to erase.
Yeah. Yes.
It doesn't make any
You
sense
can't
to me.
have both.
It's the same thing we were talking about earlier.
Full circle.
Exactly. But for 2.0 to get the win here, I always knew they were going to get the win. There's no way that they're going to bill something as us versus them and have them win.
We're officially in the era of, yeah, we know what's going to happen.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
And I hate that that's where we're at with NXT, but
Yes.
that's where we are.
And it sucks because that's my
So
Pritchard is here and stupid Pritchard.
I feel like having 2.0 win with them being the heels sends a very clear message to the people watching this at home, saying that the Black and Gold team that you love so much and the show that you loved so much for 6 years is now dead.
Take that. And shove it up where the sun don't shine.
Exactly. And that's the message that I got.
Oh, loud and clear.
From the end of that.
Loud and clear.
And then at the end of this show, because I gave this match a 4.
Yeah.
Because it was a very, very good match.
Yes, 4 is fair.
When the show goes off the air, Johnny Gargano cuts a promo alone in the middle of the ring and is just talking to the audience. And he basically, the gist of it is, there's a lot going on right now and my future is uncertain, but I promise I will always be authentic and honest with you guys, so I will tell you everything on Tuesday. Because...
Oh, God, I'm so scared right now.
Yes.
Because...
You don't know what's about to happen right now.
So I did not watch Tuesday. I was called for rehearsal.
Yes.
So she specifically said she was not going to tell me. Oh, gosh, hang on.
Yes.
Is there any more?
No, I think we drank it all.
No, I've got a little bit left in my cup.
Okay.
We're good. Okay, I just need to save it.
Yes. So he cuts this great promo, and it's on Twitter, guys, so you can find it. It's actually a really, really good promo.
It's heartbreaking.
Basically just saying, like, you guys are my family, and I love you so much, and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, gosh.
So...
Like, I'm as far back
I know.
from my neck as I can be. I'm just terrified.
It's okay. It's fine. So...
But
we get to Wednesday, and I mean they are really billing hardcore.
Tuesday.
That like Johnny has an announcement and he's gonna address his future, and it's like all gonna be revealed at the end of the episode. So one, you have to watch the entire episode to get to this point, which I did because I'm a Johnny Gargano fan, and that's what I did.
You're better than me.
But he's like a wrestling brother. He's not a wrestling husband.
Yeah,
right?
no,
He's
no,
like
no.
my wrestling brother.
He's like that like not official brother, but that brother that you like are really cool and you hang out with. Like one of your brothers, like actual friends.
Yes, absolutely.
That's Johnny Gargano.
That's Johnny. So of course I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
So we get to the end, and he comes out to Rebel Heart, and people are already chanting, "Thank you, Johnny," and all this stuff. And he starts talking, and then the chants of "Please don't go," and like all this stuff starts, and he's just like, he is on the verge of tears, and he's like going through his whole career, and is just building up and up to, you know, saying, you know, thank you so much, and you guys have, if it wasn't for you, like, Johnny Wrestling wouldn't exist. And he goes into the whole story of like how he came in 2015 and he had a tryout, and they told him that he would never be a WWE wrestler because of his size.
Ew.
And it was, oh God, I can't remember now who it was who brought him. I think it was Triple H. Oh no, sorry, it was Regal. It was Regal
Of course it was.
who brought him back in
King.
for another tryout and was like, give him another chance. And then they picked him up. So he starts out with that story, and then he starts going through his entire career. And then he goes, my future with WWE is up in the air right now, and it's very uncertain. So I don't know what the future holds for me. But I do know that in February I will be a dad. And that's what I'm the most excited about right now. And so he starts going into all of that and how he's so excited about his son and like, you know, all this stuff. And then you hear the crowd start going bananas. Like they're going ape shit.
No, I swear to
And-
everything that's holy on this planet.
But the camera is still on Johnny.
No.
And he's still talking and
No.
still going.
No.
And then all of a sudden, you see a chair come out of nowhere and hit him in the back.
I swear.
And it is Grayson Waller.
What?
Yes.
Why?
Grayson Waller proceeds to beat him senseless
Why?
and puts him through the announce table.
Are you fucking kidding
Yes.
me?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes. So, Ted and I are watching this last night.
But why him? Why not Carmelo? Why not?
Because they built him the entire episode to be just like really brooding and really upset and like just so this I guess this is him lashing out.
Ooh.
Right? So we were watching this last night and we were just so confused. We were just like, what does this mean now?
Nothing.
Because this could mean that he's staying and going to have a feud with Grayson Waller, right? Because that's what usually happens.
Oh, good.
But then we get on Twitter and we see the pictures that are posted from after the show, and it is him, Tommaso Ciampa, and Kyle O'Reilly in the ring, and they're all hugging each other. And Johnny's in the center of the ring with Tommaso, and he's like crying his eyes out. Yeah. So
on top of the fact that they had him lose, be the reason that 2.0 lost, or not, sorry, that
he's
black
not,
and gold.
He's not.
No.
Tommaso took the pin.
No, I know, but like he distracted. Well, no, I guess not. Yeah, that's fair.
He didn't have anything to do with the ending of the match.
Okay.
So
but to just crap on him more.
I don't really see that as crapping because what they did to Kyle is more of like shitting on him than
That's fair.
it is for Johnny because
Johnny was
Kyle and Von Wagner had a steel cage match on Tuesday night.
Yeah, how did
after
that
War
go?
Games. Kyle lost.
Oh no.
And then at the end got his ass beat.
Okay, cool. There we go. Yep.
Right?
Okay.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? So the theory that I have been hearing is that both of them will not be resigning. Right?
Yeah.
But Johnny is more on the fence about it than Kyle is. Kyle is like, guys, deuces, I'm out. I'm letting it run out, and I'm going to leave. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
I'm gone. Right?
Because duh.
Which would explain the ass beating. Right?
Which is why he got
absolutely
wrecked.
no fanfare either.
Yep.
With it being his last match.
Yep.
Whereas Johnny got a full, like, last entrance at War Games.
Yep.
With
his
the
first
gear.
entrance to War Games.
The first one he's ever done.
Yep.
Yeah. And a whole, like, episode that's basically
amazing
devoted,
gear.
an episode devoted to him leaving or him potentially addressing his future. Right? So that's the theory. That, like, Johnny is still, like,
on the fence
versus Kyle being like, nah, dude, I'm out.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
So are they
right?
going to play his character like that now? Because that seems kind of meta.
Well, Johnny, if he lets it run out, it runs out we're recording this today, in 2 days. So that's probably, if he doesn't resign, that is going to be his last episode.
That's
so
insane.
they leave the door open, right? So if he decides to not resign, he gets his ass beat, and
then that's it.
He gets his walking papers and he's gone. If he doesn't, that sets up a feud with with Grayson Waller.
Wannabe little Australian bitch.
I like him. I think he's serving his purpose.
That's,
right?
Okay, that's accurate.
Yes.
I'll
There's
take that.
There's a difference between not liking them and not liking them on
He's
purpose.
doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yes.
That's fair.
So
yes, I'll give him that credit.
So it leaves the door open regardless of what he chooses.
Yes.
So I'm of the mindset now, I'm just going to assume that they're both going to be gone.
Yeah, I feel like that's...
And to me, that is sad. But at the same time, I am interested to see what it's going to look like in a post-Johnny Gargano world with NXT. Because the identity of NXT has been Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole. So if 2 out of the 3 of them are gone, what is that going to look like?
It's a lot to hold on your shoulders.
Yeah.
For Ciampa.
That's a lot to put on at the very end of this episode as well.
Wow.
Because that is the end of the show. But I gave overall, I didn't do the math on it, so I'm just going to give the whole thing a 3. Because we had those 2.5 matches in the middle. And we had the 2 4s, but I'm still just going to give it a 3. Like, it was...
Yeah.
It was fine. It had some high spots. but it was not
It was
great.
run of the mill.
It was not great. It was fine.
Yeah.
You know? So, who do you have for... Do you want to do EST or ignorant slut first?
Let's do ignorant slut.
Okay, so who do you have for ignorant slut? Gina Belmont.
Oh, I can't remember his last name, but it's Trick. It's the guy who follows Carmelo around.
Trick Williams.
Because Trick Williams had one job in this entire pay-per-view, which was
we didn't even talk about your husband. I'm so sorry. Dexter Loomis.
We did not talk about my husband.
Oh my gosh.
Shit.
I'm so sorry. Dexter.
I'm sorry, babe.
Dexter.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We won't tell him. We won't tell him. It's okay.
Okay, so Dexter Loomis had this really awesome part in the middle of the match, and Trick Williams was starting some shit, and he was trying to pull out a table, and it didn't work out, and he pulled out the table, and then out came Dexter Loomis because, no shit.
He lives under there.
And it was like this very sweet moment because he turned, and then he turns, and there's Johnny, and Johnny gives him the thumbs up, and then Dexter gives him the thumbs up, and then he chases Trick off. Oh, it was great. It was lovely.
So Trick Williams is your ignorant slut?
Well, Trick Williams is my ignorant slut because, not because of that part, but because when he walked in, Carmelo Hayes had these sunglasses on.
Oh, yeah.
Trick's one job was to be his valet, essentially,
Yes.
and to follow him around and, like, let him get into the cage and then close the door.
Right.
And Carmelo, like, takes off the glasses in this really cool moment. He goes to, like, give them the trick, and Trick's already gone and closing the door.
Like, not even just gone, but, like, already around the corner.
Like, he's gone.
Like, almost to the edge of the cage. Like, and he just drops them.
Yep. And then he just falls through the... Oh, it's awful. It's so bad. And
I hope that Dexter stole those.
Oh,
Because it was right at the corner.
He should have come out wearing them.
That would have been great.
Oh, babe, if you're listening, just, for the future.
Next time.
But I did have a runner-up.
Yeah.
And it's not because of somebody messing up. It is because it's kind of sad, because we didn't get to talk about it. But there was somebody else who was their last night on War Games, and that was our queen, Beth Phoenix. And we didn't talk about Beth.
We
and
didn't.
Beth has decided to step away from NXT for a bit to be with her family.
I also think that it is because she might be doing a feud with Miz and Maurice with Edge.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Because...
No, now that's another added bonus of
Yes.
no.
So Edge has now confronted Miz and Maurice, and I think it is leading to a potential mixed tag match.
Oh, that's
what
awful.
so she's not lying, saying that she's going to go spend more time with her family, because she's probably going to go spend time at home before that happens.
And then we'll go over. Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yes. So
Yeah,
is Beth
that's-
Phoenix your ignorant slut? Honorable mention?
No, I was saying that it was just sad, and that
the whole
that they would
situation.
let her go is sad.
Yeah.
But now, I'm not saying Beth is. I'm saying that writing is stupid.
Yes.
But I feel like we've said that, and we're broken records at this point for a really long time now.
It's true.
But yes, my ignorant slut is definitely Trick Williams.
I love it. Very well deserved, Trick. Very well deserved.
That was he didn't even wrestle. That was his only job.
That
That was his only job besides getting the table out where Dexter Loomis came out and
And
crawled,
he
army
didn't
crawled.
even do that job.
He didn't.
He ran away like a bitch. So yeah.
Yeah, he's my ignorant slut.
Well, mine.
Who's yours? Yes, who is yours?
I don't have an honorable mention.
Okay. It's just this one.
It's just this one. It was everyone involved in the Cruiserweight match. I hated that match so much, to the point where I did not even write down anything for it.
It's
and that's rare for me.
Very.
So just everyone involved, just do better. Do better with this.
Even Malcolm?
Yes.
Oh.
Do better with this Cruiserweight division.
Yeah.
Just do better with it. Even if it is you are lifting the weight restriction, which is the direction that they're going. I say, and I have been on record on this very podcast saying this very thing I'm about to say.
Say it again.
Say it again for the people in the back. Let the women go for the Cruiserweight title. Just do it.
Like, why not?
All of them are under 205 on that roster.
Because
why is that so hard?
Let's talk about that. Well, let's not talk about that reason, but yes.
But like it would work so well. And then you would have another belt for the women to go for. Like, to me, it's just a no-brainer.
It's obvious.
So work on the cruiserweight division.
Yeah.
Just do it. That's my ignorant slut.
Yep.
So who?
Just the cruiserweight division.
Who's your EST? Do you want to think about it, and I'll say mine, because I have two.
You say yours.
Okay, so my honorable mention is the whole black and gold team,
Yes.
because
I was trying to pick out of the black and gold
they
team. Yeah.
they carried that entire match.
Even Dunn did beautifully
He
with
did
some
great.
of that crowbar. I was almost going to say crossbody, which that's not the move.
That is a
but
move, though, so
it
I'm
is-
proud of you for
it is
saying
a
a move.
but it's not the move that was happening at that moment.
Right.
But that crowbar move, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
it was
so the
brutal. And
entire
ugh.
black and gold team
Yes.
just was great. And my EST is Fabian Eichner of Imperium.
That is a very
Because
valid choice.
That man, listeners, if you don't know who that man is, go
Look
look
him
him
up.
up, please.
Yesterday.
I think when we were watching it on Sunday, I think someone made the comment of, "Where has this guy been?" I said, "He's been here."
Like, what do you mean? Where is he?
He just doesn't. They don't know what to do with Imperium
Yeah.
now that Walter is gone.
Yeah.
So this guy has been just consistent and great the entire time. Now Bartel is also great, but
he's fine too.
Dude.
He's fine.
both of them, they are no flies on either one of them. Like, great European men. I love them.
Eichner the name is not as Italian as you would think it is, though.
I know.
That threw me for a loop when I
Yeah.
was like, okay.
I don't think he's very Italian.
I don't-
But you know what? It's fine.
yeah.
Bartel is very German, though. So, yeah, my EST is definitely Fabian Eichner.
Oh,
And
see, that's
so
good.
Congratulations. This is the first time you've ever won it.
Yay.
You should feel so
Congrats.
excited. This is a very prestigious
that is
honor.
so exciting. Good job.
So I'm happy. I'm happy that we were able to do this.
Yeah.
And I hope that, they announced that they're doing New Year's Evil.
Yeah. Oh, can I say my EST?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes, go ahead.
No, it's all good.
Go for it.
Are you ready for this?
I'm
I
so
don't
ready.
think you're ready for this.
Go for it.
Because this person is normally my ignorant slut. I wish you could see her face right now because she already knows what it is. You know what? Hang on. I'm going to take a picture of this, and we're going to actually post this on the Instagram. That's your reaction. Yep. Okay. Or listeners, you're going to see that on the Instagram later. It's Johnny Gargano. Yay! Johnny's spots. Johnny's just the 5 minutes alone with Carmelo Hayes were beautiful. We're breathtaking. We're just really great spots.
I'm so happy.
And
I'm so happy for him.
He didn't want to die. I'm
didn't.
proud of him.
He didn't want to die.
He didn't want to just go farther than he needed to go.
Johnny.
And you should be proud of yourself, Johnny.
You've come so far, my dear. You've come so
You went from
far.
ignorant slut like 7 times to full EST.
You know
Look
what?
at you.
That means that, to quote the man himself,
Oh, yes, please do.
You will always win if you bet on yourself. You know? So. So, David.
Hey, David.
What's going on?
Oh crap! It's time to start paying attention.
It is. Yeah, stop playing Candy Crush. Get off your phone.
I'm so sorry. Not much. How are you? It's been slow going in the podcast world for Long Walk Podcast ever since we moved in here, but we're gradually starting to pick up again.
That's good.
Next week, we're going to be finishing actually our Christopher Nolan selected filmography discussion by discussing the film Tenet, and then
I love that movie.
Have you seen Tenet?
Yes. Have you seen Tenet? My other husband.
Yes.
And then hopefully before the end of the year, hopefully the last week of December, we're going to do another bad Christmas cartoon. If there's time.
Yes.
We picked one out today. I won't say what it is yet.
No,
You're
don't.
going to keep us in suspense.
Don't
I am.
tease us.
Ah.
It's not Olive.
No, we've already done all of it. We've done Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
It's also a great one.
It's definitely a cartoon.
Well,
then-
and we might, there's New Year's Evil coming up for us. So that's a specialty episode. And I'm just going to latch on to every single specialty thing that we
Please.
can get, if that's
Can
all
we?
right with you.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
Yay.
are y'all doing day one?
What is day one?
It's the next WWE
Oh,
show
then probably.
on,
Yeah,
on New Year's Day. Yeah.
yeah if it's
says
happening.
everything right there. What's that?
Listeners, I wish you could have seen the blank look that David just gave me.
Well, we didn't discuss the last WWE pay-per-view because it happened right before Thanksgiving.
That's
and
true.
Trying
Yes.
to coordinate that schedule was too
No.
much. So
Well, the holidays, it's hard.
yeah.
That's just funny. I do run the social media, so I think I would know a little bit more.
Yes.
Yeah, speaking of social media, why don't you tell our listeners where they can follow us online? Because every time it's time for me to do that, I always forget all of our handles.
You know I can write them down for you, dear.
I know, and I'm going to have you do that.
I'll
but-
do that before we leave tonight.
Okay.
Yeah,
thank
I'll
you.
do that for you. Because I am low key like saying as I'm listening, like, David, plug the socials, David. Do it. So yes, if you would like to follow us on all of the social medias, you can follow us at Long Walk Podcast on Instagram and also on Twitter. And if you want to follow This Is a Takeover personally, you can look us up at This Is a Takeover on Instagram and this_pod on Twitter.
Yay.
And if you would like to follow me, I am Slay All Ray, all one word. And no, I am not changing it because my last name changed. It is a great name.
It's perfect. Don't
I am
ever
never
mess with it.
changing it.
Nope.
I am perfect. I will never change. So Gina, if they want to follow you on socials, where
How do
they
I follow
you?
that up? I am on Instagram at Broadway_baby1218. No, I'm not changing it, but that's just because I'm lazy, not because it's good.
Sometimes you got to think of a clever name, and that's hard.
Yeah, I think no.
No?
Viewers or listeners, whichever you are, I am getting married, and we've come up with beautiful Katie came up with the hashtag for the wedding, and it's Bradford Pair, as in PAIR,
Which is just adorable.
which is fantastic, Katie. I don't think you understand how much this has influenced the wedding concept and everything as well, which you will see. But
It's all pair themed.
You joke, but
no, we actually are going to be throwing in little pairs here and there. But yeah, thanks, Katie. Yay. David's face of, oh, crap. But yeah, I don't think I can come up with a better hashtag or handle for that, for my own name. So.
no, absolutely not.
Yeah,
so if you
so-
want to follow Gina and Robert's wedding, you can look up the hashtag.
Well, it's on my
Bradford Pair.
Instagram. It's there. Thanks, Katie.
I love it.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
But yes, my normal Instagram is Broadway_baby1218.
Nice.
And that's it.
All right. Well, if you want to follow me online, you can do that on Instagram at DB Hensley. If you want to keep up with Long Walk Productions, you can visit us online at longwalk.us or search for Long Walk Productions and Long Walk Podcasts on Facebook. To see more of our original work or hear past episodes that are no longer streaming, you can follow the YouTube links in the show notes. As always, thank you for listening, and if you enjoy this show or any of the shows on the Long Walk Podcast Network, please make sure to leave us a rating and a review on whatever platform you're listening on.
Thank you so much, David, and thank y'all for listening. And for This Is a Takeover, I'm Shelby Ray Patterson.
And I'm Gina Belmont.
And you don't have to be called up to the main roster. You're doing fine where you're at.